What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm Mike.
And I'm Brit.
And today we're going over how much we spend in a week after being debt-free for 6 years.
So we used to not be very frugal people at all. There was a time in our lives before we got married where we went crazy with our spending and ended up $120,000 in debt.
But long story short, Brittany's dad bought us 2 tickets to a live event by Dave Ramsey. That inspired us to get on a better path financially, and we decided to spend the first 3 years of our marriage paying off all that debt we accumulated and becoming debt-free.
And a bit of time after that, we bought our first house and we were no longer debt-free because we had a mortgage.
We just recently sold that house, and here we are again, 6 years after initially becoming debt-free, back to being 100% debt-free without a mortgage.
Yeah.
So we thought the subject of what we spend in a week would be an interesting video to make because it fits really well with our channel, and our entire personal finance journey has been built on principles like living below our means, not spending money on things that we don't need, more or less, and saving and investing everything we can for the future.
So with all that being said, let's get into what we spend in a week. So instead of going through our week day by day, we wanted to kind of give an average of what our normal routine is because we're pretty boring people and it stays pretty much the same. So there's some weeks we don't spend anything and other weeks where we spend more money.
All right, so on the weekdays, what typically happens is we get out of bed, Brittany goes to work, I take a quick look at the stock market to see what the markets are doing in the pre-market, do a little bit of studying on that regard, and then I'll do some sort of workout routine, whether that's going to the gym and lifting weights or going for a run or going for a swim. Then I'll have a bite to eat, I'll come back and I'll start working, whether that's client work or working on YouTube or just working on a personal brand in some regard.
And while I'm at work, I will usually pack my lunch to save some money and cost. There are a few days here and there where I may buy lunch.
So the day goes by, Brittany comes home, we eat dinner, usually at home, sometimes we go out, and then we chill out for a few hours and then go to bed. That's pretty much our weekdays.
And during our weekends, we usually sleep in. Mike has his normal workout routine, and then we try to get outdoors if we can during the weekends. And usually we'll do something free, like go to a park or something like that.
Yeah, walk around, do something nearby so we don't have to drive very far and just save on gasoline. And then we get straight to work on YouTube videos. And most of our weekends up to this point have been spent working on YouTube videos. We really don't have that much free time on the weekends. We're trying to change that, but as of now, we just pretty much work all weekend long.
Yep.
So the things we typically spend money on a daily or weekly basis, just based on a routine, are food, gasoline, utilities, and fun money, which is basically just for going out to eat.
So for our food during breakfast, we don't do anything crazy. I usually only eat a few small breakfast bars or snacks, things like that. And Mike doesn't eat anything for breakfast.
Yeah, Brittany's food usually costs like $1 or $2 for breakfast. For lunch, I'm the only one out of the two of us who has pretty much the same thing every day.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm much more a creature of habit than Brittany is, and I like the peace of mind that comes from not having to make too many decisions. So what I'll have for lunch is just a turkey sandwich, 2 pieces of bread, some mayonnaise, 1 slice of cheese, and a few pieces of turkey with some chips on the side and a Lara bar for dessert. This entire meal costs about $3. That's it. So $3 per day or $21 for the week for me to eat lunch.
So for me, I like more variety, so my lunch changes almost daily. So I try to buy in bulk so that way I can plan out the meals for the week. And usually this costs anywhere from $3 to $4 per meal.
Okay, moving on to dinner. This is where things get a little bit more interesting and diversified because our dinners change pretty much day to day. Sometimes what we'll do is just buy a lot of stuff in bulk at the grocery store and just kind of meal prep for the week. Other weeks what we'll do is just have some microwave dinners, healthy choice stuff like that. Those are usually around like $2.50 to $3 a plate. Those generally don't fill us up enough, so we'll just like have snacks after that if those are what we decide to eat for dinner. Other days we'll just buy some stuff at the grocery store and cook that food at home. So if we do that, that generally consists of like rice, some type of meat, veggies. So on good days, for both of us to eat, everything included, we're talking like $15 for the day. On more expensive days, it's around $20. So let's just take an average of about $18 a day. That's everything included, all of our meals, all of our food for both of us, which comes out to about $126 per week for food.
So the next place we generally spend money on is gasoline. So for me, it's driving to and from work, which is the same distance every day.
Yeah, and for me, if I have to run errands, I'll go run errands. This is a pretty easy one. We generally spend about $31 a week on gasoline. So next comes utilities. This is another item that we're kind of using every day, even though we only pay for this one time a month. So this is just basically electricity and water, and this can vary wildly just depending on like what season it is, how hot or how cold it is outside, how much we're cooking, how much we're doing the laundry. On average, however, our utility cost is around $150 a month, which weekly comes out to about $38.
So the last area we spend money on is fun money. And that's intentionally budgeted for us so that way we can go out and have a little bit more variety to our life. And that way we don't feel guilty about it because it's already budgeted for.
Yeah, our schedules and our routine is just so cut and dry. It's like fun money adds a little bit of spice, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of black pepper or cayenne, or usually what this consists of is just going out to eat. Sometimes it's a nice restaurant, other times it's Chick-fil-A or something like that.
Right.
But on average, we're spending about $25 a week for fun money. We budget $100 a month, and depending on what kind of a restaurant we go to, that could run out very quickly, or we could spread that out nice and evenly throughout the month. So the grand total for all of our daily or weekly expenditures is $220 per week. However, those aren't all of our expenses. There are many things we pay for on either a monthly or a weekly basis that are pretty important as well, and we should probably also include in this video.
And the biggest of which is rent, and that's $1,559 per month. And that comes out to $390 per week.
The next one is gym. We have a gym in our apartments, which Brittany goes to, but I pay for like a separate larger gym for myself, which Brittany may join in the future as well. We're not sure. But we see this as money well spent. It's kind of like an investment in ourselves. It's going to help us stay healthy and hopefully live longer and be more focused, and it'll hopefully just have other long-term benefits like that. So the gym membership just for me is $399 per year, which comes out to $7.65 per week. Next is business subscriptions. With filming videos for YouTube, there's a lot of software that we use. So there's Adobe Lightroom, Photoshop, Adobe Premiere Pro for video editing. There's also web hosting that Brittany and I pay for our websites, and we have to pay a separate fee for our domain names that we register. We also pay for any music that we use that's outside of YouTube, so we can have a license to use those songs or titles in our videos. Other services like this. So all this comes out to about $900 per year, which is about $17.30 per week. All right, and the last category of stuff we spend money on that we're going to go into in this video, we're just going to lump a bunch of things together and call this miscellaneous stuff because it wouldn't make much sense to go into all this in detail for this video.
Which would include things like our phone bill, insurance, internet, haircuts, toiletries, and other things.
On average, all this stuff costs about $135 per week. So the rent, the gym, the business subscriptions, all the other miscellaneous stuff, all this adds up to $550 per week, which is a lot.
Yeah.
So add that to the $220 a week that we talked about before, and that's $770 per week that Brittany and I spend on average. But there's more.
Yep.
There's one more thing we're going to get into, and this is by far our largest thing we're spending money on. I wouldn't call this an expense because this is totally optional. Like, it's not something we have to do, but it's something we're choosing to do.
Yeah.
This is the largest thing we're doing with our money right now, and that is investing. We are building an investment portfolio, the goal of which is to allow us to retire early. And recently we've been extremely aggressive in doing this. We've been investing between $5,000 and $6,000 per week in the stock market. It's kind of crazy. I just heard myself say that. That's crazy to talk about. Like, this $20,000 a month we're investing. It's not like we're earning that much money per month. We just have a lot of cash set aside for this specific purpose right now, and we're trying to average it out and also take advantage of all this volatility that's recently been going on in the market. So we won't continue investing at this pace into the future because we only have so much free cash.
Yeah.
However, we're trying to do as much as we can right now, and we'll probably be going at this rate for the next month or two. So with investing included in our weekly expenses, or expenses if you want to call it that, all of that adds up to $5,770 per week that we're spending right now.
Which is crazy because we've never spent this much before. So with all that being said, we just wanted to kind of reflect a little bit. All that hard work that we put to paying off debt and all that discipline it helped create for us has led to a bigger and brighter financial future for us. And it's actually been the reason we've been able to buy our first house, make a profit on it, and now invest more than we've ever invested in our lives. And we wanted to encourage you guys, if you're in a similar situation that we were in the beginning, of our financial journey in debt and trying to find a way out, you can definitely do that.
All it takes is persistence, dedication, intentionality, and hard work. And focus. If you guys are in a debt-free journey of your own, trying to pay things off, Brittany and I have some resources we'll link down below in the description of this video. There's our budget template that Brittany and I have been using pretty much since we started our financial journey. It's just based a very basic budget sheet.
And it's free because we wanted it to be helpful to anybody who needs it.
Yeah, you can use that just to kind of keep track of what you're spending and be intentional with your spending and see how much savings you have and all that stuff. We also have an Excel sheet that I put together that is meant to kind of help you get organized in terms of your debt-free journey. That's down there below as well. There's a free version of that and there's a paid version. So check those out if you want to, guys. And with that being said, we're getting the video right here. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful or informative or entertaining or whatever, hit that thumbs up button. It helps us out with the YouTube algorithm tremendously.
Also, subscribe for more, and you can follow us on Instagram at It's Mike and Brit.
Yeah. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.